Alrighty, welcome to another live stream. And of course, the title of it is we're going to do something completely dumb shtick wise. We're going to take this, I guess you would call it semi-vintage Rayovac. It's not really vintage, but it's got some modern LEDs in it for once upon a time. For whatever reason they put LEDs so you could check out to see how much battery life is in your alkaline batteries. So this is a 2D flashlight or torch to some, and just one your basic run-of-the-mills. You can find them anywhere. They're still made today, these things, yellow and black flashlight torch, for everyday use. Uses incandescent bulb, and of course it's one of them fancy ones where you can store an extra bulb in it, kind of like a mag light. So you got the extra bulb if you choose to have one, and of course it uses this standard krypton or halogen bulb or incandescent bulb and stuff like that. So in today's day, this is almost obsolete. I mean, if you need a emergency light, it's fine for what it is. But a modern LED flashlight outperforms it by 10 folds and stuff like that. So in the previous live stream I had another one of these that was older to this one that I converted over to lithium, and I just made it a 4-volt torch and just put some electronics in, a charging, a charging board, and which had a built-in battery protection, and just a standard LED, multi-voltage LED, and in the backside of the torch I put a little charging port and a magnetic cable to charge it when need be. So of course, when I was digging up there in the horde of parts and bits, this thing was sitting in there. So I says, hey, maybe we should screw with this thing too, and we'll make it 8.4 volts instead of a double 4 and stuff like that. So that's what I got here. I got some bits laying around. So first of all, the cells. They're from them work lights, so they came in 2, and I changed it to a 3-cell all in parallel, so the thing lasts for almost forever. And these things are just laying around your basic 2 amp hour 18650s, and off camera I have already spot welded them into a series battery pack here, and added a protection board and a charging board. So we'll go over to the Amazon listing of some of the little goodies that I got here. So first of all, other than the 18650s, you need a little charger protection. Not really a charger. Yeah, it's a charger protection board, but we're using it for a protection board, so that we don't destroy the cells. So, basic 7.4 volt, 8.4 volt, supposedly an 8 amp charger protection board. I highly doubt that thing can withstand 8 amps, but whatever. So, a couple of bucks in Amazon and stuff like that. So, other than that, of course, we need a charging board to charge this board. So, don't really want to make up a separate charger for 2 cells. So we got one of these little 5-volt boosting boards, charge board, and of course it's got its own overcharge protection board in it. So that's pretty handy. So all you need is 5 volts. This is a non-PD type board, so takes a standard 5 volts and boosts it up to 8.4 volt type charging, or 2S charging. And to make it more completely ridiculous build, we got this silly little thing. So this is a multi-voltage, 6 to 40 volts. Really? Warm white, 4300 Kelvin for your replacement torch lantern, work lights, non-polarity. So with that, we will start playing around with converting this over. So like I said, I already spot welded the cells together with the modified and made better little spot welder. And then of course, you know, just because I can and anybody else can, you can solder to the 18650s. So if you got a hot enough soldering iron or soldering iron, you can do it. And of course, there's the protection board. So we got a double connection to the battery input. So one side's going to the cells, and the other side's going to the protection board. And it does have some balancing, so that's what that little gray wire is to balance the two cells, and of course the protection board. And of course, it looks like it's Sunday, so everybody's on the internet, so they got some buffering, I guess. But should be good enough. Whatever. It's only a silly little live stream. So, be your basic torch, stuff like that. So, what we're going to be doing is, like I did on the other one there, conveniently, this thing has a nice little hole right up the center of it that we can pass a wire for the positive, and then we can use any of that strip going down the sides to the bottom for a negative ground connection and stuff like that. So no big deal. Should be simple enough to mess with this thing. So let's go over and shove a wire down there. So we'll use this little guy here. I already pre-tinned one side of it, so we'll take the other end, and this is just 22 gauge wire. So we'll just shove it down the hole and try to solder somewhere in there. So it's not going to be too difficult to solder that. And there's a bunch of little connections down there that we can use, I guess. I'm just going to attach it right to the spring the best I can, because it really doesn't matter much if we can get anything to stick to that. Probably not, but we'll try it. And of course, this connection just for this little game is not really critical. So we're going to hold it and try to hold it steady. Try to get something to stick in there. Without destroying the spring too much. And then, of course, it didn't stick. That's fine. We can maybe try something a little different. And that's what's fun about this stuff. You know, if it don't work, try something else. So let's try some bare wire. And maybe we can fold it over and maybe get some of that, like, I don't know, what do you call it, brass. It should be real fun to try to do that. Of course, I would assume that as soon as I apply power to this thing, I'll probably burn out that little battery monitor voltage little thingy that's on this thing. We'll see if we can get anything to stick way down there. So any of this stuff in here is all positive, so without trying to burn the plastic. No, we got a little connection there. That's good. Of course, on my other torch there, I actually yanked that little spring out there. It was kind of a challenge to get that back in there, so we're going to try something a little different. See if we can get that to stick in there. So amazing I was able to get it to stick in there. So it's not really going to be much of a problem there, and it still maintains the spring. So now we need a ground connection, so it can be, like I said, anywhere along this area here. So we can do that. I'll use my little can koozie as a holder. Get it to stand up. And this should be fairly easy to attach a wire to. And then for our negative, we got some pre-tinned that will stick in there. So that takes care of that little issue. So that should be able to work electrically. We got plenty of wire to play with. So all we got to do now is just make it a little easier for ourselves. So we'll leave plenty of length because we can just shove it up in there. So it takes care of that. And these two connections, we're going to put it right on the P plus and P minus. So that's the output of that protection board. We'll connect them. Now, in theory, this thing should be alive. So we can test it out. Of course, you can't use the incandescent bulb because it'll probably blow it instantly. So we'll just use this really little 4 in series or parallel 3mm wannabe LED upgrade. We'll see if that works. Oh, hell yeah. Well, even the monitor works. That's cool. So now we got power, so that's cool. So just for shits and giggles, we will put the cover on, or the lens. Of course, it really doesn't show much. So, yeah, it's pretty dim. That particular LED, you can barely see it. So, yeah, it works in theory. Not the greatest output. I mean, this is I don't know how old this little LED wannabe upgrade is. It's probably about 10, 15 years old, and it flickers. Oh, it flickers bad. That would trigger somebody if they were to stare at that all day long. Woo! That's terrible. So let's, of course, we'll try that, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 chip little LED. This is another multi-voltage thingy. So we'll try that in there to see what kind of ridiculous light pattern that this thing comes out with. Probably something absolutely disgusting. There we go. Pretty bright. So that's a little bit of an improvement, but a horrible beam pattern. Wow. It's got like nodules. Of course, you can't really see it in camera, but it's got a couple of different hotspots and some lines, which is really bizarre. But at least it's got some usable light, if you don't mind the weird beam pattern. So that's pretty neat. Fly likes it. Fly line around here. So that's that weird looking thing. But we can try one other little experiment with a different kind of bulb. And once upon a time, I upgraded a Maglite. It's still unsodomized, other than the bulb. So it's one of them, another one of them multi-purpose bulbs that still uses the other than the collar. It's just a drop-in fit. So I think it's a 530 lumen little jobber. So one of these little guys. It's only got a single chip on there. So we'll see what that looks like, just for fun. And it probably won't fit. It don't fit. So that won't fit. That's too bad. The base of it is too fat. But that would have been pretty cool to put this in here. Oh well. We'll put that other funny looking thing in there. Maybe I'll try some other bulbs next time I order something from Amazon. They got all kinds of stuff. Pretty much it's all the yeah, of course this little guy ain't gonna outperform this little mag light, that's for sure. So stick that back in there. Of course, it don't look bad on camera, but a simply modded mag light will outperform it. Maybe someday we'll get the lumen tube out and play with that. So now the only other thing is sticking that whole battery pack in there. So this is a little bit of a tight squeeze, so we're just going to shove it in there. And of course the barrel will be a little oblong, but that's not really a big deal. So we'll just we'll stick it in like this, and we'll have the charger hanging out the back here. And we'll just give it this a little bit of a squeeze and just shove it in there. Just like that. So, not awful to stick that in there. And then you'll say, well, what about the charging module? Well, that's, you know, something I'll do off camera to get the Dremel out and custom fit this thing. So here's the end cap. I have to take the spring out, and there's not really a lot of room, so I'm probably going to stick the charging, open up that little lower section there with all the dust and dirt. That'll be the actual charging port, and I'll have it just like the other one. I'll drill and ream that out, and then of course this spring will have to come out and all that other little doodads. So that'll be disposed of, and we'll just of course this one has a little ring on there, so in case you wanted to hang this up somewhere, you can hang it. But we'll put it right here, so we'll grind and drill that out, and then this little guy, the charging port, sticks out just enough where, you know, you can just glue it a little bit, and then we'll put some hot glue around there to support it. And then once again, I'll just put another magnet type charger, little Dewey. So like these little guys, these are the the magnetic jobbers. So they don't carry a lot of current, but it's good enough for fun little games like this. So of course, like I said, this is a 5-volt, but it's going to step up the voltage to charge the 2S pack. So just for fun, we will hook up our little charger and our little meter. So just one of them basic little USB tester charger Deweys. You all have seen these, and of course when we plug it in, it'll start charging the board. The little red LED comes on. So we're charging at 2.1 amps. And then when this thing is fully charged, the second little LED turns green, and it stops charging. So nice little modification. And of course, we can always leave it like this too. You know, just stick that in there and close the cap. So you can make it a sleeper. Hi, Pete. What's going on with Pete today? We're just playing around with silly stuff here. We modified this silly little contraption here to make it LED. So, and it's super light now. Of course, if you ever went shopping for 2D batteries, they're getting kind of expensive now. And they leak and they don't last long. So we made this one an 8.4 volt lithium flashlight just for fun, because we got not much else to do for our little weekly live stream here. But now that that is complete, and maybe we'll play with more bulbs and stuff like that. Update. You remember last week I had that this little guy with the whatever DHT22 temperature and humidity little thing that didn't work. Well, it works, but it would measure the temperature going backwards, so it was in the reverse polarity or whatever. So I would imagine that the whoever had success of putting that this module in probably went in and adjusted the code to accept that, but I'm not going to take the whole thing apart and recode it. So we're just going to get another module. So this is what we got here. We got the DHT11. So we'll go over to, of course, I got it from Amazon. So we got this little guy. We're going to try and see if it works. It should, because it's the same one that's inside the module or the temperature Dewey. So that's we'll see if it works. So we'll solder one up and see if it works. It should, if it's the same thing. You love the fan build? Yeah, we're gonna have a whole series of neat stuff with that. The fan that I took it down, and then a situation occurred with the just brand new fan that wasn't even a couple hours old, and it started developing a awful tick in it. It had a bearing tick in it, so it was very annoying to listen to. So we're gonna work on that too in the upcoming Wednesday pre-recorded stream. I mean, not streams, but videos. So all the fan twerps will like that. Doing something completely ridiculous and out of control by putting semi-expensive ceramic bearings in a 17-year-old fan. And some people will say, why? Well, why not? It's fun to do. So let's put this sensor module on and see if this works. It should. So we'll blow this off. Maybe someday we'll have something that will use these things. Never know. Something turns up. Always to have this stuff in the hoard. So we'll take the 22 out, which is supposed to be superior to the 11, but and you can tell by size-wise it's completely different. So these pretty much the same, except for the sensor. So that is what it is. Of course, this board has the wings that then get snapped off. This one's got the wings snapped off. Same exact thing on the back side. Got the resistor on one side and the little capacitor on the other side. So exactly the same, except for the sensor. Yeah, that type of fan is not really worthy of a rebuild, but it's a good little fan because they're small. That was a 32-inch fan, and I don't think they're made that particular size is made anymore. The replacements were 36, and that was the smallest I could get for that type of size. And of course, it's a 6 blade, so it moves a lot of air, and they're perfect for small rooms. Like this is a small room; it's only 9 by 9, so I did have a 42-inch fan in another 9 by 9 room, and it doesn't move any air because there's just not enough space in the room that the air can get up and under or around the fan so it can work. So it's the smaller the room, you need a smaller fan. Or in some people like to say fan. You're in heaven. Got an eBay refund and a Nixie video too to watch. Oh, that's sweet. So someday I'm gonna have to start building that awesome Nixie clock with the binary thing in there too. So I have to work on that someday. So that takes care of that. What we're gonna do now is see if it works. With that little goodie. So we'll go over to the main camera and plug this in. And plug in the Nixie thermometer, 5-tuber. Turn the light off. See what it's doing. 51%. Is it 51% in here? It should be. Yeah, pretty close. 53%. 69. That's pretty close. Of course, it takes a few minutes. Of course, I had my hands all over this thing, so it's probably a little skewed, but that's fine. Flicker, flicker, flicker. Turn that light off too. So the temperature is going up, so that's good. That's going in the right direction. 54%. Yeah, we're real close. The weather station says 56%. Temperature is still going up, so that's good. .5. It's getting real close, so looks like we got a winner here. Of course, we got my buddy Pete in here. No stress, you have many projects. Yeah, I do have a lot of projects. So many that there's just not enough time to do them all, other than short little stuff like this. $50, 75.6. Yeah, we're spot on now. Of course, I got my hand near it. So we got a winner here with the Nixie thermometer here. Of course, if I hold it in my hand, my hot body, really make the temperature go up. And I think this thing has a sampling rate of twice a second or something like that, but I don't know what the code fucks off. Getting humid though. Temperature's going up. So that's cool, that works. Of course, with this thing, anytime you, like I mentioned on the other stream, anytime you swipe near it, or even get your hand near it, you change the parameters. So now we're in Kelvin, if you're that type of guy. Of course, the humidity is always the same. Now we're in Celsius, so there you go, Pete. That's your temperature parameter. Of course, the camera makes it look flickery, but I can't do anything about the frame rate. Unlike my DSLRs where I could cancel that right out. So we got what it is. So we got an successful little projects here. We got the our silly little torch out that we fit. Look at that, awful. Look at that weird pattern. Yeah, you can tell. That's for them side LEDs, given the stripes. But at least it works, so that's pretty cool, and we can charge it. Another magnetic little thing there. How long have we been going for? Oh, almost 40 minutes. So I got another little product from Australia that come in yesterday, and this one had an interesting little story on it. When it got delivered, it got put in the wrong friggin' mailbox 2 doors up. So I got confirmed that it was delivered, and I looked on my porch and it wasn't there. I'm like, where the F is it? So I went next door and looked on the porch. It wasn't there. So then I went an abandoned lot, and of course there's no mailbox there, but it was in the next house up in the mailbox. So I had to do a little mailbox porch pirating and take my box. And I wasn't afraid to take it out of somebody else's mailbox. Because one, it's mine. And number two, I got video evidence that it was delivered in the mail in the wrong mailbox. So up at the top of the screen here is the NVR in the big picture there on the upper left that looks up the street. So if anybody had a problem of me taking my package out of their mailbox, I got video evidence saying that the dumbass mailman put it in the wrong box and I just was going to retrieve it. So this is another box from Australia. Well, unfortunately, USPS here doesn't take photographs of the delivered packages, unlike other mail carriers. So all we get is a text and an email. If you sign up for the mail delivery thing there, so every day I get an email of what's coming in the mail, and depending on the day or how much of a load is coming, sometimes I don't get the mail coming in every other day. So I don't know why the mailman, or of course I have to use the proper term this year, letter carrier or mail delivery person, because mailman is one of them things you can't really say. You got to be politically correct. So what we got here, we got a little expensive that I'll show in further detail in next week's live stream. So this is for the embroidery machine that will show off. So I've had, of course, if you don't know, I have an embroidery machine. It's the Brother PE900. It's a pretty neat little machine for a hobbyist like myself, and I like to set it up because you got to kind of play give or take, or hit or miss with the tension of the bobbin case for thread tension. I sort of struggle at it. I got it working fairly good where it's reliable, but it's nice to have something that you can go by number and have the stitching done right. So that's what I've been struggling with, is the tension, because it's a push-pull type of thing between the upper thread and the lower thread. And of course the little chart here, and I got it all above of a different, what the bottom side of the fabric looks like. So there's almost full bobbin to almost no bobbin. So we're gonna work on that little issue there. So an expensive little toy to have from the sewing center, embroidery center from over there. Aussie Post is great. It is post. The Aussie Post is great. It does make it over the pond, so that's uh, good. Except for the local guy can't read. Of course, the print is so fine that I guess the guy probably the sixth. You could, I guess, mistake the sixth to make it look like a zero. So very fine print. Could be a little bit bigger font, make it a little easier for the people that can't read. And of course, it's got the declaration and stuff like that, which is always fun to read. These declarations from when you get stuff from over the pond. Of course, the stuff that you got to deal with, Pete, is incredible with the declaration and what's in it, and what's in the box, and how much is it worth, and blah blah blah, and all the other good stuff. So, famous tax invoice. So this is the if you don't know, if you have never seen the over the seas declaration, so that's what it looks like. Of course, you got a plethora of paperwork to fill out before you can ship stuff overseas. Same thing with me when I shipped that Nixie clock to he knows who he is. I forgot already who he is. That one person that won the Nixie clock. So this is where it come from. Only place that sells the tension gauge for the Brother embroidery machines, because they custom make the bobbin holder. So nobody else makes it. There's a kind of like a spring tension thing that you can buy that's a lot cheaper, but if you got the opportunity to get the best of the best, then so be it. And it's digital, or digicals, I should say, for some that like that. And it gives you a number to go by. So that's good to have that. Then other than that, there's not really much else going on here, other than, it's almost the end of July. So pretty sad. Year's almost over. And I'm at that point now where once Labor Day comes, I'm thinking about what I'm going to do for Christmas. So all the Christmas lights and all the Christmas decorations and stuff like that. And hopefully by then I get some vacation time from the employment place next door. So maybe we can take a week off and do some stuff here. Maybe have like all day live stream of building Nixie clocks and stuff like that. So that's about it for this particular live stream. Already 47 minutes long, so that's long enough for some when they if they choose to watch the replay. Other than that, I have really nothing else to go over. So of course next Sunday we'll be over in the wannabe embroidery room, checking out that that new little toy that I got. So that's it for this live stream. And of course, Pete, thanks for joining. Of course, there's a couple of other little people that are lurking. So of course, they don't go in the chat. It'd be nice if they did. Say, at least say hi so I know who's watching. So with that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next live stream. Take care, and we'll see you later.